Any insects could change the future of food? Have you ever wondered how sustainable protein? Once just in massive farms, billions of mealworms are raised. We're going to explore how mealworms are grown and processed food. These little creatures are now leading a food revolution to valuable products every day. Mealworms, despite their name, aren't worms, but the larvae of a beetle, Tenebrio molitorums, and eventually transform into adult beetles. They start as tiny eggs, hatch into backyards, farms, and even space. These adaptable creatures can thrive almost anywhere, cardboard, and even styrofoam, breaking it down into nutrients that enrich the soil. Mealworms have even been sent to the International Space Station to study how they survive in zero gravity. Their role as natural recyclers. They can eat organic waste like leaves. What makes mealworms truly special that more and more people are starting to farm them. Plastic waste problem, as they can digest material. Researchers are exploring how mealworms might help solve the decades to decompose. So, what makes these little guys so amazing? Kept in shallow trays or boxes. In mealworm farms, mealworms are to substrate like bran or oats, which is both bedding and food. These stacked in large racks and placed in cool, dark environments. Darkness is important because mealworms are naturally nocturnal and prefer low-light conditions. But they can also thrive on a simple vegan diet. Mealworms are easy to They usually eat grains, plants, and reduce their stress and keep them active. Mealworm beetle mate. When the female lays eggs in a warm, dry environment. This means they don't need much special care, straight like wheat bran or oats, for them to lay their eggs. With plenty of food. Mealworms require a warm larvae, which we need. It's important to provide a dry environment to breed effectively. To breed mealworms, after mating, a female darkling beetle lays 7 food. These eggs hatch into creamy white worm larvae. The larvae grow to be about half an inch, 100 eggs in a dark, moist place with outer skin, called molting, 10 to 14 months before turning into pupae. An inch long, depending on their age. The shed stage can last anywhere from 6 to 300 days into their trays. The feeding frequency depends on the number of larvae, depending on the temperature. Typically feed mealworm larvae by sprinkling, but generally, food is added daily or every 2 to 3 days to ensure the larvae. If there are no changes, some mealworm larvae will consume all the food in the tray. But over time, if there isn't enough fresh food, always have enough nutrition. Usually, cleanliness of the farming environment. A bit of leftover food. Therefore, farmers check regularly and replace the food to ensure the quality. For harvesting. After about 2 to 3 months of farming, mealworm larvae can reach the sufficient packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals. Mealworms, though small, are incredibly beneficial and a great addition to any worm farm. In their larval stage, an excellent food source for many animals, which is why they are highly favored by bird and reptiles. Offer a nutritious meal for insect-eating birds, helping to keep them healthy. Mealworms are usually processed 2 main ways: drying or grinding, freeze drying, or using to preserve their nutrients and extend shelf life. After harvesting, they are dried through methods like they may be ground into powder, which is commonly used as a protein in pet food or treats. Mealworms may be small, but they're incredibly useful in some type of pet food and then molded into mealworm bars. Another way to distribute mealworms, they are mixed.
Did you know Americans don't just...
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.
300 cookies a year, which adds up to our piece. They're obsessed. On average, each person we're diving into the fascinating process of cookie production. 35,000 cookies in a lifetime. From mixing the dough to baking the perfect batch. Let's get started. Cookies trace their origins to test cakes by early bakers to gauge oven temperature. Small dollops of cake batter were baked to ensure it was ready for larger cakes. The earliest known cookies date back to 7th century Persia, modern-day Iran. Ruth Graves Wakefield, owner of a Massachusetts restaurant, ran out of baker's chocolate while preparing cookies. In the United States, the iconic chocolate chip cookie was invented by accident, one of the first regions to cultivate sugarcane, a key ingredient in cookies. The recipe gained widespread acclaim, and creating the now famous Toll House Crunch cookies. She substituted semi-sweet chocolate, except to melt into the dough, but the chocolate held its shape, leading to the popularization of packaged cookie. The process begins with the dough and chocolate bar packaging after Ruth sold the rights to it, declared the official state cookie of Massachusetts. Commercial bakeries began churning out cookies in large quantities. In 1997, the chocolate chip cookie in factories, automated systems carefully measure and feed the ingredient. Most cookie factories use the wire cutting method to shape the dough. This method works by dough through a mold to form shapes and then cutting it into even mixers to maintain uniformity in every batch. The machine can also have its own conveyor to move the dough straight to the oven easily without stopping the production lines with a sharp wire. The machine can cut up to 50 pieces per minute. It can be placed above the conveyor belt or oven band and for smooth processing. Besides, the popular wire cutting method uses a nozzle to shape the dough into different designs, like patterns with an automatic dough extruder. Cookies can also be shaped in various ways, bun shapes, or even round cookies. This way of shaping the dough. It's baking time. Industrial ovens are like the superheroes of baking. Use super precise temperature control and airflow system. Make sure the heat is always just right. After baking, the golden brownies are carefully transferred to a cooling tower. A perfect cookie is a fine art that requires a careful balance of and techniques. From the way the butter is to the exact temperature of the oven. Achieving the ideal cookie involves than meets the eye. Once the pass quality control, they are moved to the packaging area. Automate the cookies in trays, bags, or boxes, depending on the product type and market requirements. Means drop a comment and let us know. Catch you in the next video. Besides the usual cookie flavors, know any cool or unique